maintaining your discipline is absolutely crucial. So this, as I said in the before also, this is not a test of your intellectual ability. This is just about practice. So what is going to happen is, in the beginning, everybody has a lot of what do you say, josh jise bolte hain. Everybody wants to do it, but by the time June, July, August rolls in, because you have done so many questions, uh, somewhere or at some point or other, what will happen is complacency will start creeping in, and that is what you have to be very, very careful about. Okay, I know that there will be some kind of mental fatigue, and you will be like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing the same questions again? But believe me, that repetition is so important when it comes to CAT, because like I can't stress this enough. Muscle memory when it comes to seeing questions, identifying the patterns, and doing it as fast as possible is so important. So that is the critical time where, if you can do it alone, maintain that discipline. Otherwise, ask your parents if you're living with them, or ask your friends to just hold you accountable, that every day you are going to go back and work on your preparation for 2 hours or 3 hours or whatever time you're giving. Set a schedule. That's very, very important. People think that they can wing it. That's not going to happen. If you plan on if the plan is based on winging it, what will happen is you'll keep postponing your preparation to the next day, and that will have a snowballing effect, and then suddenly what you will realize is that you have a lot of syllabus to cover and you don't have time. So that is one trap that you need to be very careful of. By July, maximum by August, I feel that you guys should be complete with your syllabus. You should have covered all the basics and all the topics that are going to come in CAT, and then you should pick up a examination series, a mock examination series. Again, there also I can't overstate the importance of an examination series, because that helps you put in the helps you get into that headspace and puts you on the spot. 2 hours, how are you going to implement whatever you have planned till now? So that is very important. You don't need to give a lot of examinations, but the most important aspect there is going to be, once you attempt an examination, how you're going to evaluate that, right? So if an examination is going to be for 2 hours, keep another 3 to 4 hours just to go through that examination and see what are the mistakes that you did, what is the rights that you did, and what can you change. So that entire 2 hours plus that 4 hours, 6 hours is going to be uh, an amazing investment into how you're going to give the examination. For example, in my case, I personally gave, I think, just 5 examinations, 5 mock examinations. But after every examination, and that too I was working, right? So I did not have time in the mornings or during weekdays. So I used to give it on the weekends. So in the morning, I used to like sit for, and I used to give 2 examinations per weekend, and I only gave the examinations in the end. I, for some reason, was not able to start in August. I started in October, but still I was able to cover 5 to 6 examinations. I used to sit Saturday morning, give an examination, Saturday evening, do the analysis. Again, Sunday morning, one examination, and Sunday evening, one analysis. So like this, I gave 6 examinations. And it is all about when you feel confident in your ability, right? As soon as you start feeling absolutely confident in your ability, that yeah, you are getting those questions right, your strategy is correct, that is where then you start just honing it. Okay, so that is when you stop giving too many examinations and just focusing on just this minute parts that you're doing wrong. So that is where, again, again, having discipline is very important, because it might so happen that your confidence peaks, maybe let's say in September end. Okay, and you still have 2 months 2 months. So what do you do then? Then you again go back to solving those questions again, keeping that muscle memory up, keeping that flow in, right? That basically, it's like a game of cricket. Once a batsman is in flow, that does not mean that he stops practicing in the nets. Keep the practice on. Maybe reduce the number of examinations that you're giving from, let's say, 2 in a week to once in a week or once in 2 weeks. But in between, just keep the practice on. That's extremely important. And second, in these next 9 months that you're having, right? Don't punish yourself by not enjoying. That is very important in keeping yourself fresh. So don't think that these 9 months are something which you have to just put yourself in jail and just study. That is also one very critical aspect. If you have vacations in between, go for a 1 or 2 week vacation, etc., but just don't overdo it. So basically, the you just have to make sure that you have to keep the mental energy up. That's the game. Many people, I can tell you right now, drop out because of the fact that, one, either they get exhausted, or they get bored, or that they're just not able to maintain the discipline. If these three aspects you're able to make sure of, I can assure you that, in the end, CAT is just going to feel like a cakewalk, because you have done the enough practice. And CAT examinations are not like your, if any of you is an engineer, you will know that J Advanced is all about, like, intellect and all that. Like, they're the questions are really tough there. CAT is absolutely not like that. CAT is just a game of how much practice you have done, and have you seen a lot of questions. So I have answered that, but I'll just repeat it in a very short way. So, Arjun, it doesn't really depend on the time here. It is a function of how comfortable you are with the topics. For example, I was not at all comfortable with DILR. So, and also I could not give time every day to study since I was working. So I used to come back to sometimes at 8:30 in the evening, and I was absolutely tired. So I personally am very comfortable with maths and English. So basically, I did not prepare for English at all, because my confidence levels with English is pretty high. But I had to prepare for some amount of math, because, as I said, right, I have 5 years of work ex, so I had forgotten some class 12th math. But in general, I'm strong with math as well. So what I used to do was, I used to give about 2 hours every 2 days. So I used to study alternatively, because I had to manage my time with work as well. I used to study alternatively for 2 hours DLR, and then during the weekends I used to practice math. So that is how I managed my time. Again, because I was not confident about DLR, and I wanted to sharpen my DLR up. So it totally depends on you. You first have to sit and analyze what is your strong point, what is your weak point, and then depending on that, you have to distribute time there. That's why you're starting so early, right? Give time right now. Figure out whether this much time is enough for you to cover some topics, and if it's not enough, increase it. If you think that you're overdoing it, decrease it. Motivation can come from two points. One is internal, one is external. So the external motivation is very important. Always remember that. So it can either come from parents, your friends, your colleagues. So somebody should know that you are, trying to scale a mountain here, right? It will be a very easy mountain to climb if you have the support of your loved ones. So for in my case, I had the support of my sister and my parents. So whenever I used to feel like, this is just getting too much, they always used to show me the light at the end of the tunnel, because uh, I am Bangalore is an amazing place to be, right? So I always was motivated to reach there, but sometimes you tend to forget the end goal, and you feel that the process is too hard and you want to give up. But at such crucial junctions of time, external motivation helps a lot. From the internal point of view, I used to basically, what I used to do is, I used to go and visit my previous performances. And whenever I used to feel that, this is I am not able to do well, what I used to do was, from the beginning towards till that point of time, I used to go through what I had achieved and how much I had progressed, and that used to give me further boost that, okay, I am on the right path. So even if, like, there is like 2-3 months left, and there's still time to go, this is what used to give me a lot of motivation. Ki I am doing well right now, and I should just stay focused for the next 2-3 months, and the rewards that I'm going to get are absolutely disproportionate. So that is why I think we are having this talk also right now, right? So you get to talk to me, and I can assure you that the rewards at the end of the tunnel are amazing. Like, uh, uh, you should have zero doubt about the fact that if and when you get through CAT and come to these institutions, the amount of learning that you will get, the amount of exposure that you will get is insane. And this is what was told to me by my seniors as well. So I was fortunate to have seniors who studied in I'm Bangalore and I'm Calcutta, and they motivated me. Maybe once a month I used to talk to them, and they used to be like, just put in the effort right now. Maybe you can't see it, but just trust us when we say that it's worthwhile. Like, giving every day 4 hours, it's absolutely worthwhile, and your life trajectory changes basically once you get into these institutions. To not focus on questions like this, because that's a long way of others, right? You have like 1 year exactly. So right now in I am Bangalore, interviews are going on for after CAT. Right now, just focus on giving this CAT examination and clearing that. So even I was absolutely not clear about why I wanted to give CAT. To be very honest, okay, I had no idea what I'll do after this. I just wanted a change in my life. Okay, I had been in ISRO for 5 years. I felt that I had learned a lot there, and I just want to I just want to see like how like I had heard that going to IMB changes you as a person. It gives you a lot of opportunities, you learn a lot, you grow as an individual, and that is what I wanted to do. Of course, the answer that I gave in my interview was much more nuanced. There were a lot of other factors as well, which you will have a lot of time to figure out once you get the CAT result. Like the CAT result comes out in the first week of Jan, and you have like 2 months to figure out why MBA, write proper answers, professional answers to tell the professor. But right now, I would suggest that just keep your head down. Do not think about why MBA. Get the CAT percentile and then think about it. Like it's always better to have an A, B, and C call and then think about why I want to do that MBA, rather than
Absolutely.
think right now and then not have the call. And that is literally the advice that everybody gave to me, because I also asked this question. I'm so sorry, sir. The power just went off here.
Okay.
Just
No,
give
no
me
issues.
a
No
second
issues.
here. Yeah. So
Mm.
I was even I had the doubt at that point of time that should I just give up right now, because I'm not even sure why I want to do an MBA. But they were like, put in the effort right now. After you give your MBA, you will have like 2 months. You will be able to research a lot. You will be able to talk to people a lot. There are people on LinkedIn. You have friends, etc. And once you talk to them, I mean, you can even connect to me post your CAT, and then I'll give you a proper answer as to why you should do an MBA. But right now, I would say that, as I said, I can assure you that the rewards are disproportionate, and just focus on CAT, clear the CAT, get your call, and then you will have a lot of resources to talk to.
So I am from a computer engineering background, and I very soon realized that doing a technical back-end job, coding job, is not something for me. For MBA, the reason why I want to be an MBA is that it first of all allows me to use my non-technical skills, interpersonal skills, and most importantly, it allows you to work uh, at a scale. Today, some of the corporates have a wide influence across countries. So the impact that you can create is unparalleled. Other part is the diversity of the jobs. Today, there are so many different uh, things that you can do with an MBA. You can focus on finance or in sales and marketing, operations, consulting. Such wide variety of roles are opened if you are doing an MBA. Otherwise, for me, my roles were very limited in the IT field. So these are two main reasons: the diversity, impact. So when I was in my final year of computer engineering, I decided that I will start UPSC prep. I taken a job because of the importance of work experience that it is in every field. I mean, no matter what you do. But very soon I left my job because I realized that I cannot balance UPSC prep and my job. Uh, Now I've been preparing for the past 2 years for UPSC, and now I have decided to give CAT. Now the reason for this is that when I started my UPSC prep, I had very clear mindset that if I do not clear it in 2 attempts, I don't want to give more attempts, because the gap years that it creates will affect my future career prospects. So I immediately activated my plan B. After 2 attempts, I cleared prelims both the times, but I could not clear mains. And therefore, I was very clear that 2 years of UPSC and then it's MBA and SCAT. So I did not have a full. I mean, I for 3 months I balanced my UPSC prep and my job, but I then left my job to pursue full time UPSC preparation. And in UPSC there is a CSAT paper, so that already has verbal and quant questions. So I did not exclusively prepare for CAT. My background in engineering, my reading habits, and the CSAT paper were enough to attempt CAT. Mean, honestly, for me, I had no exclusive preparation. I mean, there are people who clear it in 1 month. I personally did not have any extra preparation because till September I was writing mains. It all depends on your comfort with the different sections. So I think if you give a mock test right now today, you will be able to judge how comfortable you are with quant, with VRC, and accordingly you should make your own strategy. But 1 year is more than enough. If you are appearing for CAT next year, you have more than enough time to excel. So for comprehension, like you mentioned, is more important. So reading is the first step, and comprehending is the second step. So for my UPSC preparation, I read the newspaper very exhaustively. I spend nearly 45 minutes to 1 hour reading the newspaper. So in that, it is very important to understand the ideas that the writer is trying to convey. So when I'm reading the editorial, I am not just reading it for the sake of reading. I try to understand what is the argument he's trying to forward, what is the reasoning that he's giving for his argument, what are the different ideas that he has explored. All this all this process also helps in reading comprehension while attempting CAT. So if you look at the question, sometimes the idea is what is the central theme of this question. So once you have a long experience, if you have a good experience in understanding the editorials, the same skills will be helpful in attempting RC questions. For example, if you read different topics, for example, from philosophy, economics, science and technology, so you will have that comfort level. Often people struggle just reading. The first step is reading. So many people just struggle in reading the RC comprehension. So reading is something that will definitely help you, but it has to be along with comprehension, not just reading for the sake of reading. See another question in chat. Till quant section comes up, people feel exhausted. What are the tips to choose questions in quants? So this time I attempted 10 questions, and I attempted all the questions from the topics that I was comfortable with. Now, everybody will be comfortable with different topics. So to find that out, you have to practice more and more quant sectionals. But for me, it was, like I mentioned, speed, distance, time, profit loss, arithmetic questions, ratio, proportion. So I used to just go through the questions, and if it is something which I'm comfortable in, I used to attempt that question. One thing that I would like to add here is that do not spend too much time on one question. Sometimes you feel that I am very good with profit and loss, and you are still not able to solve the questions. Then do not let the ego interfere. If you're not able to solve it after giving enough time, move on to the next questions. There are enough questions for you to attempt. So I think I have divided into three buckets. First is your graduation. So you must be ready to answer questions, technical questions from your graduation subject. Second would be that if you are work ex, so how that work experience has shaped you. That is another important topic. Third is your personal life journey. I've heard it from other toppers, is that you should have a very clear autobiography in your mind, right from the childhood till this uh, present moment, about things that you are proud of, things, your achievements, how you have converted your weakness into strengths. Your entire autobiography should be very clear to you, because the interviewers will grill you on your life. And of course, a day to current affairs and general knowledge is very important. It's important to brush knowledge about it. Start reading newspaper. That is greatly beneficial. This is a question still that I'm still thinking over, because I'm also in my currently personal interview preparation. My short-term goal obviously would be to excel at my MBA for the next 2 years, and get a job in the field that I'm interested in, which is consulting. 40 years down the line, the idea is to be happy, contribute positively to the society. That's the long-term goal.
As I was working, my preparation happened mostly on the weekends, and I was really persistent on the weekends uh, due to the lack of time. Also, I used to take sectional mocks on each weekend to adapt with the time pressure on the exam day. And on the weekends, instead of allocating more time continuously, I used to allocate uh, some time in intervals of time. So what I used to do was during the coffee breaks, I used to read some articles uh, to improve my reading ability. And also, I used to wake up early in the morning and allocate 1 to 2 hours of time to solve an LRDI puzzle and some quant topics, and also allocate 1 hour at the end of the day, like post working hours. Actually, I didn't stick to a particular timetable due to the work. But what I used to do was setting a goal for myself for the day really helped me to complete some topics. Like the goal of the day can be solving previous year question papers or any LRDI puzzle or reading a RC passage. So after some days and some sectional mock test, I understood that VRC is my strength, and I really have to focus on the accuracy of VRC. So the main strategy that I implemented for all the sections is whenever I see a question that I'm really familiar with, I used to solve that question right away. I didn't wait to complete the end of the paper, like to read the paper entirely. But instead, whenever I see a question that is familiar with, I used to solve that. It will really make me less anxious and may it will save a lot of time for me, because if I do not solve any questions until like 30 minutes, I'll get anxious and I'll feel that I'm not solving any. So this helped me to handle the anxiety on the exam day as well. And the next thing is everyone has their favorite topics in each section. Like for me, parajumbles and passages are my favorite in VRC. So whenever I open VRC section, I will go for them first and solve the passages next. Also, we can use some technique like solving the passages first and then other objective questions next. Because, but in my opinion, solving passages really drain a lot of energy and it will cause anxiety to solve the objective questions. So instead, what I used to do was solving the parajumbles and sentence completion first, and because I really like solving those, it will make me more energized to read the passages next. So I used to follow this strategy in VRC, and for LRDI, I used to take a glimpse of all the passages there. So I used to pick an easy one and allocate 2 to 3 minutes for the question. If I get stuck anywhere in between the questions, I'll just move on to the next question, because I know that LRDI is the toughest known section in the catechism, and the question can have some unexpected twist. So instead of wasting any more time on a question that I'm still stuck with, I'll move on to the next question and try to solve that. And I'll come to this question at the end, where if I'm not able to solve any other questions. And as I said, there will be a favorite section, favorite topics for each section. Like in LRDA, if I see any seating arrangement question, I'll solve it right away, because I know that I'm really good at that topic. So what I suggest is just pick your favorite topics and uh, try searching for those questions in the paper. And similarly, in the quant section, we can say that there will be a lot of similar questions. So what I suggest is, instead of going through all the questions, pick the easier ones, because quant is a mix of easy, medium, and hard questions. So picking the easier ones will give you an advantage in the exam. It will make you more accurate. And so some tips really helped me in cracking the CAT exam. So one thing is, we need to understand that solving all the questions in the paper is not really necessary. But instead, solving some questions with greater accuracy can get you a really good percentile. So I understood that completing 40% of the paper with 80% accuracy is more than enough to get you into a good college. And the second tip is to ace the VARC section, you have to read very often. Let it be magazines, newspaper, anything, let it be anything, you have to read more often until the exam day. And the next thing is, do not get disheartened by the mock scores, because mock scores are not really telling you that you will get the same scores on the exam day. In my case, personally, I used to get very low mock scores as 10, 20, and very high scores as 100, 120 as well. But that really doesn't matter on the exam day. What matters is how you handle the pressure and stress, and how you remember the topics on the exam days. Really, what is gonna get you a good score in CAT percentile. Okay? For the quant section, try to understand so many methods like shortcut techniques that can be used to solve them. Because quant section is all about the number of questions with accuracy of solving. So most of the people, other people will be solving the quant sections easily. So in order to be on a safer side, you will have to solve more number of questions from the quant side.